Hey, what's up? David Taub here, co-creator of NextLevelGuitar.com. Hope all is going well, and I hope your guitar journeys are going famously. And today, I have another FAQ session where I answer all of viewer and subscriber questions. This is number 7, FAQ 7 of 2019, right? We're plowing through 2019, we're attacking all your questions, and I really enjoy doing these, and stay tuned, we're going to be doing a lot more. So keep those questions coming in. You know, I'm going to try to get to as many as I can. You can always put your questions in the YouTube box below, or if you feel more comfortable, you can always email me your questions, and you can email them to me at thenextlevelguitar@yahoo.com, and be sure to put question for David in the subject line. And by the way, I want to thank everyone for watching, and thank everyone for all the killer emails that I've been getting lately. Your questions are awesome, and also the feedback and responses that we're getting to these FAQ videos that I do is awesome. Everybody seems to like the sharing of information, and when someone asks a question, you know, lots of people might have that same or similar question, so it's really helping everyone out. Be sure to stay tuned to the end of this video, where we're going to pick one random winner from the questions in this video, and they're going to get a Next Level Guitar t-shirt or some other Next Level Guitar swag, so stick around for that. And if you have a second, please subscribe to the channel. Subscribing to the channel is very important. It really helps us to keep the content coming. Leave a comment below, not only if you have a question, but let us know how you like these videos, or what lessons you'd like to see coming up, or what gear you'd like to see reviewed. Let us know. If you like the video, please give it a like, click the thumbs up, and we so appreciate it. I have a new original band project. The band is named Mindcell, and I'm really excited about it because we have a new record that's going to be coming out, our debut record actually. I've released the first song for the coming record. The song is called Alpha Omega, and we actually released it in a video. And if you could do me a huge favor, I'll put a link to that video in the YouTube description box below. If you could just click on it, watch the video, I would love your feedback. I'll also put a link below to my Mindcell Band Facebook page. If you could like that and follow it, I would so appreciate it, and I'm real excited for you to hear some of the rest of the music. Okay, I got a question here from Big Al from Stoke-on-Trent in the United Kingdom. What's up, Al? Greetings from the USA. He asks, hi David, I tune my guitar with a clip-on chromatic tuner. Is it best to tune chromatic or guitar position? And also, could you tune to the A4 pitch, 430 Hertz to 450 Hertz? Which is best? Thank you and keep on rocking. A couple things there. Should you use a chromatic tuner? Absolutely. And whether it's a clip-on one, those work fine, or a separate one like this, you know, whatever works best for you, as long as the tuner is accurate. Now, you're asking about different tuning to different frequency pitches, right? Basically, standard tuning is A440. So if you're going to be playing in standard tuning, like, you know, 85% of guitar players out there play in standard tuning most of the time, you're going to want to tune to A440. A440 Hertz, that's standard tuning. That's where your strings will come out, you know, E, A, D, G, B, E. There are different tunings you could tune to. For instance, like you mentioned, A430. That is E flat tuning. Basically, that's what it's called because it takes the notes a half a step down. So if you're tuning and instead of going to 440, you go half step flat to 430, then your guitar will be in E flat tuning, which is E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, B flat, E flat. Each one of those strings are a half step lower. Could you tune like that? Sure, and a lot of bands do that for multiple reasons. Tuning to E flat will give you a little bit of a heavier sound, right? And probably one of the first bands to do that in the metal genre, it all goes back to Black Sabbath, right? That E flat tuning. Also, the E flat tuning will make it a little bit easier to bend the strings, right? Because they're a little more slack in them, so you can use thicker gauge strings. And a lot of bands, they tune down to E flat because it's a little easier for the singer. That pitch works a little better for them. They don't have to. It's a half step away from standard, so it's a little bit, you know, of a break for their voice. So a lot of people like that tuning for vocal reasons. And a lot of bands like Van Halen, most of their whole catalog is in E flat tuning, right? Or Stevie Ray Vaughan used to tune to E flat tuning, and tons of bands tune to E flat. You asked which is best. I mean, it all depends on, you know, what you want to play, the style of music you're playing, and the sound you're going after. Is the singer, does he like going in E flat tuning better? So I don't think one is necessarily better than the other. There's so many great other tunings that you could tune to also. And it's not that one is necessarily better than the other. They just give you different sounds. It's all about the sounds. And in some instances, you could tune to an alternate tuning, which will give you a whole different palette of sounds for your guitar. So it's all great stuff to explore. I received a few similar questions that have to do with building your finger strength and dexterity. So we're going to group these. I'm going to read them off, and then we'll just group them into one response because they're all basically pointing toward the same thing. Brent W. from Texas asks, "Hi, David. Thanks for the chance to ask a question. My question is on basic preparation of the body for guitar players. Specifically, are there any exercises you suggest to increase the hand finger strength and speed up the development of the calluses on the playing fingers? Both limit the time a player can practice their playing efficiently. As a follow-on, is it better when picking up guitar again to start on electric or to start on acoustic to accomplish this? If this is t-shirt worthy, note, I wear an extra large." Nice. Okay, so we'll get to the finger exercises in a minute. The other question is you're asking about should you practice on electric or an acoustic. If you have both, I think it's great to sometimes practice on acoustic because then when you go to electric, it's like cake, it's like butter. The acoustic is a little bit more difficult to play because the strings are usually thicker, the action is usually higher, you have to kind of, it's harder to get your arm around, a little harder to play, right? Electric, right? It's thinner, easier to grab, the action's usually lower, strings are thinner, easier to play. So I do that a lot too. I'll practice for a while, do exercise on the acoustic, then do them on the electric, and man, it seems so much easier on the electric. So you can use that as a tool. You're working the calluses up on your fingertips. Remember, don't do a lot of really long marathon playing sessions, like an hour, hour and a half, if your calluses are not developed yet. Because what will happen is your fingers will be so sore the next day, you won't be able to play for a day, 2, 3 days until that finger soreness goes away. So I suggest limit your time to chunks of 15, 20 minutes. Morning, 15, 20 minutes at night. Break it up during the day to give your fingertips a break. And your calluses will come in. It's just that time before they do, everybody goes through that. So Brent, we'll get to the exercises in a minute. I'm going to couple that with this question from John H. from Chicago. What's up, John? Love Chicago. Fun city. John says, "I'm still a bit of a beginner, just over 3 years into my guitar practicing, and I still have the problem of not hitting the right strings sometimes with my picking hand. I practice a lot, but sometimes I think I am just perfecting bad practice habits. Are there any exercises you would recommend to get over this hurdle? Thanks." Okay, Brent and John, I think I could recommend some finger exercises to address both your problems. John, it sounds like you're having trouble. You're hitting the wrong strings that you're picking, so we need an exercise to tie the right and the left hands together. Finger exercises are great ways to do that. And then Brent, as far as working up the calluses on your hand and getting your fingers going, right? Again, finger exercises. These are things that you could do 5 to 7 minutes. That's all it takes every day, but you have to be consistent with them. Do them every day, and they make such a huge difference. You could even do them while you're in front of the television set, right? These will really help skyrocket your playing, and there's tons of them. I'll show you a few to get you going. I have tons of them on my website at nextlevelguitar.com. I have a whole section in the lead guitar section just on finger and picking exercises. These are great because they really tie that left and right hands together. So let me show you a few of these exercises. And there's a few things that you have to do properly in order to get the most out of these. What we're going to do is we're going to play every note on the guitar neck from the 1st to the 12th fret as we snake up and down the guitar neck, okay? So this is all about finger patterns. And the first one is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. So this pattern is 1, 2, 3, 4. So you're going to play the first 4 frets, right? 1st fret, 2nd fret, 3rd fret, 4th fret on the low E string, and then on the A string, same thing. Same thing, go right down the strings, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I'll just show you how the pattern goes first, and then I'll make a few suggestions. Then when you get to the end, slide up a half a step, and now you're on the 2nd fret on the high E string, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then go up. G string, D, A, E. Then go to the next fret. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4 is the pattern. And you're listening for note clarity. Push down hard to really get that note to sing. You don't want any string misses or hitting the wrong string. right? As you go right up the guitar. Now, a couple things. Alternate picking. Everything should be alternate pick. Don't do all downstrokes. Down, up, down, up. Next string, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Right? And you're going to listen. Every note should be clean. And you snake that right up till you get to that 12th fret. 12, 13, 14, and 15th fret. Then go back to the 1st fret and do it again. All right? I can't say that enough. Do this 2 to 4 times. Okay? And even if you're going really slow at first, that's okay. Because your speed will increase every day. Notice how this will tie your right and left hands together, because as soon as you miss a note, you'll hear it and you'll have to keep repeating it. This is to work on this technique, to get this down. Even if you're sitting in front of the television set, grab your guitar. You have a few minutes before dinner's ready. Grab your guitar, run through these exercises, okay? Now remember, alternate pick everything. Note clarity. 1st to 12th, 15th fret, repeat. 1, 2, 3, 4. Your second pattern, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now when you get to the end, half step up. Now we're going up the strings. Half step up, down the strings. 4, 3, 2, 1. Right? And you're going to snake that until you get to the 15th. All the way down, then repeat it. Alternate picked, right? And then I'll give you one more pattern. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then try this one. 1, 4, 3, 2. 1, 4, 3, 2. 1, 4, 3, 2. This puts a brain in each one of these fingers too. I mean, there's so many advantages to doing these. I know they're not the most musical, and I know they could get boring, but they make such a big difference. I'm telling you, if you just do these 5 to 7 minutes a day. Don't do them 15 minutes a day. There's no need for that. I wouldn't do them any more than 7, 10 minutes tops per day. That's it. And there's tons of patterns. Go to my website, like I said, because you want to mix them up. And then I have tons of different ways of doing them to add different interest and to make them not as boring, right? So 1, 4, 3, 2. Then go to the next fret, second fret. 1, 4, 3, 2. Next fret. Again, listen. Clarity. Right? And alternate pick. You do those 5 to 7 minutes a day. Take a note where you're at right now with them. A mental picture, right? Put it in your mental Rolodex, and then 6 weeks from now, I guarantee you, if you do these diligently, you'll have so much more accuracy, so much more speed, so much more strength and dexterity, because you're using each finger and you're playing each note and you're getting it clear and you're getting this alternate picking and you're tying those hands together. These have so many benefits. Check out more of the lessons on my website, nextlevelguitar.com, in the guitar lead finger exercises section. 5 to 7 minutes a day and you'll be golden. If you'd like a free video lesson and a coinciding ebook, the ebook is a killer reference tool. I diagram out like 29 scales in all different positions. I talk about things like soloing strategies, modal playing, pentatonics, and so much more. Major, minor key soloing. The ebook is packed with lessons and diagrams, and it comes with a video lesson on how to spice up your soloing and add some pop. Just click below. I'll send them to you for free from Next Level Guitar. I got a question here from Buddy C. And Buddy says, "Hey David, enjoyed talking to you in the past. I have so many questions." He lists out a couple. What is the best way to develop your ear? I have no previous music training. Favorite single coil guitar. Favorite humbucking guitar. And then he goes on to list his goals for the year, which are awesome. Well, I have a few thoughts on this, Buddy. First of all, congrats on setting goals. You know, it's so important. I keep saying it. You know, it's so important with our guitar playing to set goals. Just like in life, we have to set goals and then go out and achieve them, right? So good for you for doing that. And a good question too. I actually get a lot of questions about ear training. So there's two things you could do to start off your ear training journey, and that is listening for like the color of chords. And I have lessons about this on my website at Next Level Guitar. You know, starting to tell the difference between a minor chord, which sounds very dark, and a major chord, which sounds very happy or sweet. and then like a seventh chord, which is real bluesy and twangy sounding, or a major seventh chord, which is real sweet sounding. So learning those differences and listening to chords and the colors will start to get that ear percolating. Another thing is by rhythmically and listening, figuring out strum patterns by ear. And you could do this by having someone play a strum pattern and then you trying to scratch it out by, doing it and by ear. Or, again, I have lessons on the website where I play strum patterns and then ask you to figure them out. And then you want to start training your ear by learning some easy songs. First, start with chords, songs that have just a few chords in them, right? And then trying to figure out what those chords are. Having your guitar there, playing the song, going back to the guitar, trying to match it up. It's tough. It's really hard. I worked incredibly hard early on in my musical journey to develop my ear. And I think I have a pretty good ear now. And it's one of the best things, I say it a lot, that you could do as a musician, as a guitar player, is to develop your ear. It takes time and it's a process, it's a journey. Start by figuring out songs. And a good way to do that is have a really good transcription to a song that's accurate. Remember, a lot of the song transcriptions online, they may not be accurate. The best transcriptions, stuff like Guitar World magazine, right? Those transcriptions are spot on. But find transcriptions that are really accurate. Don't look at them. Put the song on. And I'm not talking about really complex songs. Few chords at first. And start and sit there and try to find them. And you got to kind of hunt and peck. And, and you start off with easy songs. Start off with easy guitar riffs or licks. Play with a buddy. Have them play like a little 3 or 4 note lick. Your back is turned and you try to figure that out, right? Again, it takes time, but you got to do it. 10, 15 minutes a day at ear training really, really helps. Then you can move on to harder and harder songs. So, start with really easy 3, 4 chord songs, easy licks, and then move on from there. And then you asked me about my favorite single coil and favorite humbucking guitar. Well, it's hard to narrow down to one. I have a few and they change, over time and the music I'm playing. Right now, my original band, Mindcell, progressive hard rock, for that style of music, my favorite guitars would be a couple of my Paul Reed Smiths. This is a Paul Reed Smith Paul's guitar model and has these humbuckers, which I really, really like a lot. This I can split and get a really killer single coil sound out of the neck pickup, which is awesome. So I really love this guitar. And this is a lot, I'm playing this a lot in my new record. Same thing with this one. This is another Paul Reed Smith. This is a 513 guitar. These are actually all single coils, but they're wired together to kind of give you a humbucker sound if you want it. I love the sound of the neck pickup for single coil, and it has a really heavy, a little darker sounding guitar than this one, but I like that. And sometimes I'll mix both of them together. So this is one of my favorites now too. And of course, as far as humbucking guitars, one of my all-time favorites would be the Les Paul. This is a Les Paul Standard. This is like a 96, I believe. And you just can't beat the big ballsy sound of the Les Paul with the humbuckers. And I play out of the neck pickup a lot too, especially for solos. Heavy guitar, solid mahogany, thick, but the tone is just awesome. So this is one of my favorites also. And I'm sorry for, you asked me for one, I'm showing you 4, but it's hard. It's hard to narrow it down. As far as for clean stuff and for more bluesy and more, maybe some classic rock, stuff like that, I have a couple of Stratocasters. This is one of my favorites. 3 single coils. Love the neck pickup. These are Texas specials in here. This was relicked actually by MJT, Mark Jenny, who does a great job relicking guitars. I bought it this way. The neck is it's one of the best feeling and playing necks I've ever played. Got a question here from Mark S. He says, David, I'm working through the 180 licks course while making sure I practice my strumming as well. My question is about strumming. I lose control of the pick on the upstrokes. The angle seems different. The pick seems to dig into the strings harder, so I am loosening the pinch on the pick unconsciously, and it moves all around till I quickly drop it or I have to stop and re-grip. I have tried several methods, but none seem to work. Help, Mark S. Mark, that's a common question, and there's two different parts to your question, and I get especially the first part of it a lot as far as the pick moving in your hand and you have to readjust it and whatnot. There's an easy fix for that. First thing you want to do is you want to change the pick you're using, and you want to get a pick that has grips or raised letters or cuts in it, and these picks stay in your hand so much better. I've turned so many of my students onto those, and it's a game changer for them because the pick won't spin in your hand and it's so much easier to grip. A lot of companies out there make those. I'll flash some pictures. Some companies make picks with holes in them, right? And those you grip really easily too. Different thicknesses, different sizes, but Dunlop makes some great ones with those grips on them. So check those out at your local music store. Go out right now and get those, and that will really help you. Just be careful, because when you change the thickness of the pick, that's touching the strings, and it'll affect the guitar tone. You want to make sure you're using a pick that not only is comfortable in your hand but gives you the sound you want. So it makes a difference, thin to thick picks. And then the second part of your question about the angle being different, or it's digging into the strings more. Well, that's something where we're gonna have to examine your actual strumming mechanics, because it shouldn't be. Upstrokes should be about the same volume as downs, and you should be able to just glide through your ups and downs just like this, and you could just practice this, right? And all I'm doing is holding the strings. If I turn, notice one thing. Okay, if I pull this hand away, do you see how my plane is straight up and down? The plane of the strum. Straight up and down. I'm not tailing it away or coming in. A lot of students do this, and I'm exaggerating the motion, but they'll tail the strum away, and then when they come back, because they have all this momentum coming back, that's why the pick gets stuck, because it's too much momentum and too much force, as opposed to if they're just going straight back up. So your picking plane should be down, up, down, up, down, up, right? Not tailing away and then coming in. So the plane of your strumming has got to be right. And just sit there, try to go a little lighter, just so you can feel the dynamic. Let the pick do the work, right? And when you're strumming, you want to bend at the elbow. It's more arm, not a lot of wrist when you're strumming. Picking more in the wrist. Yes, strumming, no. Bend that arm. Loose feel, not really tight and jaggy, right? Nice and loose. Try those things. Email me if you have any other questions, and I'll tell you what, I'll put a long lesson on strumming mechanics down in the YouTube description box. Watch that lesson, because I give some really good tips on strumming and more exercises. Watch that video. Let me know how you're doing, and I think those things, and also get yourself one of those picks, and I think you'll be in good shape. Enjoy. Time to give away some Next Level Guitar swag, Next Level Guitar t-shirt, or some Next Level Guitar courses, digital downloads, or DVD downloads. And we're going to pick a random winner from today's questions. And that winner is Brent W. from Texas. Brent asked the questions about finger strength and also about the calluses on your fingers. So Brent, I will shoot you an email and see what kind of Next Level Guitar swag you would like. And if you didn't get a t-shirt, we'll be giving another one away in the next FAQ session. So stay tuned for that. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for your awesome questions. I love doing these. If you get a chance, please, it would really help me out if you could listen to the first single from my coming record from my band, my original band, Mind Cell. I'll put a link to that on YouTube in the description box. I'll also put a link to our Facebook page down there. If you could check that out and like and follow it and share my music with others who you think might like it, I would so appreciate it. Remember, subscribe to the channel. That really helps us to keep these videos, content coming. And if you like the video, please give it a like, click the thumbs up, leave a comment below, and get your questions in. Email them to me, or leave a question below in the YouTube comment box, because you'll see them on the next edition of FAQ for Next Level Guitar, right? I'm David Taub, co-creator of Next Level Guitar. Thank you so much for your support over all these years. I'm going to keep bringing the content, the lessons, going to keep answering your questions, the gear reviews. I so appreciate you tuning in. And remember, your guitar playing is an evolution. Take care. and rock on.